Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the invitation to this conference. My name is Andreas. I came from the Hasso-Plattner-Institut nearby Berlin. You know Berlin, it's nearly 6 hours in east direction from here. And I will today talk about a practical approach that we use in more than 10 years in our institute. That's our campus, some impressions in the summertime. The HPI means Hasso-Plattner-Institut. The most of you know perhaps Hasso-Plattner. Hasso-Plattner is one of the primary founders of the SAP concern. It's one of the biggest software concerns worldwide and one of the last German companies that are important for the worldwide software education and processing. We offer 2 university level degrees like Bachelor in Science and Master in Science. Our special naming is IT Systems Engineering. It's a little bit more than computer science and informatics. We have undergraduate and graduate students are enrolled at the University of Potsdam. That's why we are an institute of the University of Potsdam. And we have also PhD degrees. Currently we have about nearly 450 students. Either 450 HPI students have received the bachelor degrees, more than 200 have received the master degree, and at the moment we have more than 40 have completed a PhD. And my person, I'm also a PhD student. I researched in multimedia approaches, retrieval, and so on. One of the most important things in the CHE ranking, it's a ranking of all higher universities and high schools in Germany. The HPI is one on the top level, it's first place in the field of computer science in German-speaking countries. In our research group, the research group Internet Technologies and Systems will be shared of Professor Meine. We focused on several themes like security engineering, Web 2, Web 3, systematic approaches, and so on. And also next generation Internet applications. They are also very important for e-learning application and the Web University. That enrolls everything what has to do with e-learning, blended learning, and so on. And in this team e-learning, our project tele-TASK is placed. Here's a short agenda about what I have to do today. I will introduce you our mobile recording system. You see it there. Then we make a little slide over our web portal. I tell you something about the technology, some statistic results, and our visions. Okay, let's start. tele-TASK is a very simple system. All what you need is this box. You connect your computer, your camera, and your microphone with this box. You start your presentation. And then the box begins to record and receive and transmit all the stuff to the internet. And at the end you have synchronously the picture of everything what you do. The lecturer is record and all the stuff on his presentation, like mouse movements, window actions, and so on. Our project is now more than 10 years old. Some of the very important steps are here in black color. In 2002, we got the American ACM Einstein Award for our approach. 2005, we built up a web-based video archive to offer all our lectures. In 2008, we used on a very fast and mobile usability of the system. In this time, the box is built up. And in 2009, we scaling in quality and video solution, and that was very important because in this time we also start our content distribution on iTunes U. What does the box? We have a separate encoding on special presentation computer, the desktop, and the separate encoding on server. That was the first step. It was not mobile, but it was a personal presentation computer. But your personal presentation computer could be used. Configurations next step we told is TQ. This was very mobile, but it was very complex to prepare the system, and we have many problems with it. In this case, sorry, not in the first step, but in this case, any presentation computer from there will be presented computers. And the last step was a completely integrated recording system inside this box, immediately ready for use without previous technical knowledge, only to connect two cables and the computer, and we integrate in encoding and streaming and post-processing. We mean that the mobility is a very important factor for the success of our system. Mobile tele-TASK can be used without any type of previous technical knowledge. My colleague, from Germany, knows the system, and he makes the rollout here in the Polish market of our system. It's a chronologically recording of presented speech, gesticulations, and the whole presentation screen is all interaction. tele-TASK integrates a very simple recording, also encoding in different formats, live streaming for webcasts and so on, and also post-processing and an optional format converter. No additional software in your presentation that is necessary. It's very important. So the whole box has a weight nearly 30 kg. It's fully equipped with camera, microphone, and all stuff in truck and so on. That's the result that you can see on the mobile devices. It's our podcast screen. And you see we record everything. Presentation software, perhaps sometimes also animation. In this case we have here handwritten annotations and so on. Everything that you can do with computers or desktops, everything will be recorded. At the moment our record is placed with many installations in Europe, principally in Germany, but we have also two systems in North America, one in Stanford, one in Princeton, and also in Palestine. There are 4 systems since this April, and our last system is now September in Beijing. They use also tele-TASK. Our web portal, what do we with all the recorded stuff? We put it in a portal, and it's very important because we have nearly more than 3,000 recorded lectures. What are the main tasks of our portal? It's necessary to access all archived records, all the metadata and live streams. And we have so very good representation of all our data, and we offer also community functions for our auditorium. And we need a backup, very good backend to administrate all the stuff. Our video content is regular lectures, seminars, HPI colloquia or other colloquia, international conferences like ISIC or SIGOS, and also speeches from our chancellor or even Nobel Prize winners inside our archive. The structure is our recordings are separated in different categories, then in courses or series. Each series or course has many groups, and inside the groups are the lecture. Every week we have nearly 2 or 3 lectures. Every lecture has a chapter, and the chapter has different themes. And that's the structure our records are stored. Metadata that we also input into the system are, of course, the title, the lecturer names, abstract state and duration of the videos, some technical stuff like what's the format, what's the class and filing information, and also machine-generated data like indexing result from optical character recognition or from speech recognition. And last but not least, very important in the newer times, the user-generated content like annotations, ratings, recommendations, and personal playlists. If you are interested in the portal, you can go on the www.tele-TASK.de, and all the stuff, the most of the stuff, I think nearly 95% are full free. You can watch everything. The most of the lectures are in German, I think 55%. The rest is in English, so it's also important for the Polish students. Searching the tele-TASK portal is very important. I have to say, in the moment we have more than 3,000 lectures, so you can imagine that it's not difficult. It's not easy to find the right lecture or the right point in the lecture. That's why we need an extensive search functionality via our organization stuff, like categories, like referrals and so on. But we need also a combination of several search criteria. We need a graphical search with an illustrated review of the search results and different sorting options according to the slides. Here's a nearer look on what your research can do. So you can choose between titles, descriptions, abstract, and text, and so on. And then you can combine your search criteria and make the search update, and then you get the new results, clustered in series, lectures, scenes, lecturers, and so on. You can save this result, and so you have very fast, next time very fast, your result and series. Live calendar. Normally, the most of our lectures in our institute, I think nearly 70% were regularly every day. So the students can go on our website and open the Point Live webcast, and there is the schedule, and they see, okay, the next lecture, Vollständigkeit, and so on, will start at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning perhaps, and then they can mark this time in their own schedule and can watch this live stream via the internet. They have not to come to our lecture hall. The community entrance in our portal, we named it My tele-TASK. There we have some possibilities to administrate the self-generated content like annotations, text, and so on. Also to administrate the video recordings for admin stuff, and also to automate productions of DVDs from some stuff. Also we can see what are my texts, what are my annotations, have I friends in my group, and so on. One of the community functions, you know, is rating. There is a rating number from 1 to 5. 1 is very cool rating, and 5 is very cool stuff. It's very easy to use social web functionality. Most of us know this from other portals. And there's also a possibility to sort by these ratings and priorities. Playlists is a very important functionality to create own content from the existing lectures. But the users may assemble their own video playlists with very important stuff, perhaps from databases and security and so on, from different lecturers. And they can make this playlist public. Most of them do it, or they can also create private playlists only for its own. Application scenarios could be compilation of search results for special topics, preparation for examinations, and so on. Compositions of previous knowledge as preparations for a new lecture. Tagging is a very easy way to mark different positions in digital stuff like e-learning or lecture videos. Content can be marked, so as tagged with special keywords. And so I have a very personal but structured possibility to access the whole archive. That's the current snapshot of all the text in the moment in our database. Most of the stuff is in German, you see. But there you can see the most of our students take this stuff like theoretische Informatik or praktische Informatik or Webprogrammierung, Multimedia in the center is also very important theme at the moment. And this stuff will you find in our database. Live manuscript. It's since the beginning of this year, it's possible to make digital notes like on a real paper, and you can make these notes for your own, or you can also share it with your commilitons. Taking notes digitally live it's possible to do this live while listening to a real lecture. The real lecture will also be recorded with our system. And after the lecture, or immediately, synchronization of the notes with the lecture recordings will be possible. Public and private manuscripts are possible. And so we have also the option to collect questions while you're listening, and these questions will be the return to the lecturer or presentator. After his presentation, he has the possibility to answer some of this stuff. We have different ways to present our content. The most individual presentation way at the moment is our scalable flash player. There are two different areas you can move with the slide, which is important for you, the lecture or the presentation. There's also the full screen mode available. You can jump into individual scenes with the help of the index or the checker index. It's very good applicable, also very good applicable outside our portal as code snippet for foreign web systems like Moodle or so on. And since April this year, we have nearly, this number is not correct, nearly 540 views, and I think the views will also go up in nearly 40,000. The technology behind this. Our web portal offers different video formats like flash video, real media. These are the two presentation formats so that you can make an embedded video inside your website. Normally you need also a proprietary player for this. There are also the possibility to embed our content native in new HTML5 format in the format block. All the stuff will be encoded with the H264 encoding. It's a very good format because it's scalable and video size with good quality. Live streaming is also possible. We use in this case real media to synchronize video streams which are from our real media server, and we have also a flash video stream is live offer since this year. Beside our portal, there are also different other distribution channels. I told you that we use also iTunes U. In this case, we use RSS feeds for our podcast. And in this RSS feeds is many stuff input like audio, video, and video podcast in the formats MP3 or MP4. And we have also the possibility to store our content in permanent storages like CD or DVD, and RAM cards. A few on the layout, you see in the upper left side the presenter. Under this presenter screen there is a TOC, a table of contents. We can use this to navigate inside the lecture. And the main space will fill up with the presentation screen from the presenter's laptop. And for smaller devices like iPods or mobile phones, we combine the two screens from the presenter and presentation so that we put the presenter screen, the presenter screen in one of the corners of our screen, so we can scale it to little functions. It's not so important, but a short view what we use under the deck of our portal. All the stuff is based on a Python framework called Django. Our database is stuff based on MySQL. It's also it's a consequently MFC conception. Import and export for all the stuff are XML-based, that's our fees. Currently we have 3 dedicated servers, one for the application as database, two for the streamings, one for real media, one for flash media, so we have 4 servers at the moment. And we have a separate transcoding service that transcodes the recorded stuff as a light to the other additional formats like Flash and MP4. Statistics, very short. You see here over 3,000 recordings, nearly over 400 courses or series, and all the stuff is held by over 46 different lecturers. Nearly 7,000 portal, Item View. So most of them knows the iTunes store, it's a commercial store to download music and videos and so on. And they have also a free educational branch called Item View. And inside Item View, there are maybe, I think, 290 universities worldwide. Most of them are North American universities. And since January 2009, also for German universities starts in this portal. One of these universities was the HPI. And the success is very impressive. In the moment, we have more than 2 million downloads since our start. That means more than 63 terabytes were downloaded per week. Every week, the users download 25,000 podcasts from our portal. Yes. Our visions. Our visions for the recording system is we want to enhance the recording software. We want to make a more flexible way to select which codec I want to use. At the moment we use Real Media and before we plan to use also the directly encoding to flash formats, the directly encoding to new HTML5 compatible formats like ROC and so on. And it's also a good idea, we think so, that we, in the moment when we record the stuff, it's also the indexing of the stuff possible, like character recognition, speech recognition, and so on. All these data from this automatic indexing ways can be used for searching in retrieval content. Also, it's possible to detecting manual applications and actions and to interpret what the presenter is doing and what's the meaning of what is he doing. And so we have also the next retrieval approach. And we plan the system to make it a little bit smaller and handier for transportation. The portal. In the portal we plan some new features like semantic search, so that the user can ask questions in natural speaking forms. We plan to make additions in personalization and to offer individual learning contents, so the user can make generating of human offers depending on the individual needs, including an analysis of personal handwritten notes and other stuff according to the user preferred lecture videos, and transcoding on demand based on a cloud infrastructure, so we can scale up with the way how it goes up the recording effort. Yes, next distribution channels, the moment we use the most of this stuff. Mobile phones is very important. In this case, we need more shorter videos in the way so-called 5 minutes learning. Support for lean-back medias like television, bigger displays like television displays, so that we can use a remote control for very simple navigation and so on, and that we can also use a very simple back channel to make it's good or it's not good for tagging, for rating, and so on. And also we want to distribute our content via different portals, more different portals, not only tele-TASK and Item. We plan to go with our content also on special branches from YouTube, like TeacherTube and so on. Yes, thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much.